both in the Bible and in life experience. I bet you have had, you have seen, you have come across many people that missed on their seasons. They didn't take advantage of the season that was presented before them. They didn't understand the importance of seasons. It should be common knowledge that seasons come and seasons go. And therefore, you don't joke with the season that God has given you. When God brings you a season, you don't want to miss it, because you don't know when next it will come. Those who sleep when it's sowing time, they don't harvest. So we don't joke with seasons. We don't mess around when it's season. And especially when it's a season of rejoicing, like it is now, it's your season to rejoice. But you know what? You can't allow yourself to miss. In the book of Mark chapter 5, there is this lady who had an issue of blood that we all know. Mark chapter 5, verse 26. Let me start on 5. And a certain woman which had an issue of blood 12 years. Look at that. So she has experienced blood issues for 12 good years. She has been bleeding. I bet you understand what it means to bleed for 12 straight years. If bleeding for 1 week for ladies is an issue, what about 1 month? What about 5 months or 2 years? What about 5 years? 10 years? This lady had been with this issue in this condition for 12 good years. Verse 26, and that was not enough. She had suffered many things of many physicians. She had spent all her money in the hands of physicians. She had spent all that she had and was nothing bettered, but rather grew worse. She spent all her fortune, but she never got better. She got worse. Look at what this woman is going through. She spends all her money. Everybody wants to spend money and be better. Everybody wants their money to count for the services they choose to do. But this woman spends all her money and she's getting worse. Now, when she had heard, verse 27, of Jesus, she heard of Jesus, came in the press behind and touched his garment. When you hear the Bible talking about press, it means it talks about the crowds. There were too many. Many people pressed on Jesus. Everyone wanted a miracle. Everyone wanted to be blessed. Everyone wanted healing. Everyone wanted to hear about Jesus. They wanted to see this man that walks repose, that heals deaf ears, that opens blind eyes. But there was this particular woman with the issue of blood. When she had heard of Jesus, she came in the press behind and touched his garment. For she said, if I may touch but his clothes, I shall be whole. If I touch, I love that. If I may touch but his clothes, I shall be whole. Come on. This is what she spoke to herself. She said, if I can only touch the hem of his garment, then I will be whole. Verse 29. And straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of that plague. A plague of 12 years. Now this lady who bled for 12 years, she didn't care the happenings. What are some of the happenings? The crowds. There were too many. Number 2, according to law, she was not supposed to come into contact with anybody. You are not allowed to come into contact with such a person. They were considered dirty. And therefore, if you greeted them or you had body-to-body contact, you would be considered defiled. And you needed the priest to cleanse you. Pay attention. She never considered all these happenings, all these things. She never considered the law. She never considered how the law had condemned her. She never considered these things. What she did is that she understood the season. That it was time for her to be healed. It was time for her to testify. It was time for her to walk in freedom from this plague. She understood it's her season. I need you to understand seasons. Understand this is your season of rejoicing. It's your season to rejoice. Now, let me say this. There is always a knowing in every child that walks with God. Because when you look at this lady, she said in her heart, if I can only touch the hem of his garment, I'll be made whole. But Myers shouted and cried, Jesus of, Son of David, have mercy on me. Even when they quieted him, he refused to be quiet. He continued more loudly to shout Jesus. So there is always a knowing in every child that walks with God. They always know the seasons. And when the season comes, they don't joke with it. Don't joke with this season. It is your season to rejoice. And I dare tell you, don't joke with this season. Don't joke with this season. When the season came, this woman never joked with the season. She had courage. She had boldness in her. But Myers never joked with the season. It's only today when people joke with seasons. No, we don't joke with seasons, especially when your life is changing. No, it's a matter of do or die. That is why when Esther understood that it's a season, that if she didn't take advantage of the season, they would have died. She said, if I die, I die. I will go stand before the king. Just pray and fast for me for 3 days. When you understand seasons, you don't joke. Because if she had joked, if Esther had joked with the season, she would have died. She would have died because there was a law in place. There was a decree that the king had signed into law. Pay attention. So they don't joke with seasons because they understand the pain they have gone through in their lives. Have you gone through pain? Have you gone through pain? This woman had been through pain for 12 good years. You should understand when it's your season. You don't joke with it. Those that walk with God understand seasons. They know the pain they've been through. Do you understand? Do you know the pain you've been through in your marriage, in your relationship, in your finances, in your job, whatever it is, whatever area of your life that you've experienced pain? Then don't joke with this season. It's your season of rejoicing. Receive it. Let courage, let boldness be activated in you. Let there be no fear. Do what you have to do to receive your miracle. And this is the moment. So that is when boldness is activated in them. Because they don't joke with the season. They know it's my time. I've been through pain. If you've been through pain, you will understand. That is why the man in the pool of Bethesda, even though he has missed that 8 seasons, when Jesus comes, he says, I have no one. Every time I'm ready to, not that I don't want to be healed, but every time I want to get into the pool, someone else gets in there before me. Because I have no one to put me into the pool, in the water. When the angel comes and stirs up, I have come by the grace of God. So that you will not say, I have no one to put me into the pool. This is your season to rejoice. Don't be distracted. Don't allow feelings. Don't allow happenings to distract you. Let courage, let boldness be activated. If the Lord says pray, pray. Don't hesitate. Do it. Listen to me carefully. The woman with the issue of blood, she said in herself, if I can only touch the hem of his garment, I'll be whole. What are you waiting for? Don't be distracted. It's your season to rejoice. Let boldness, let courage be activated in you. Don't stay